Welcome to Rover YouTube channel. Today under the Microsoft Access tutorial, I am going to explain you how to create invoice template using Microsoft Access. So this is a simple invoice template and you can easily create this template by using Microsoft Access. Please follow my video step to create this invoice template, and I will attach my sample invoice template with this video. Then you can download by following my link. So I will add I'll add download link to video description. To create this invoice template, I am going to create a new database. So here I am going to give database name for my invoice template. File name is sample. Say file name is simple invoice, and here I am going to add location for my database. Yes. Now press create. Now I created my database and I renamed. Then I created my database. I named my database as simple invoice. To create this database, first of all, I want to design tables. Here I expect to create 4 tables. Then my first table is for invoice main table. So in short form, I name my table as INV main. Right. This is my first table. Under this table, right click and go to design view. Then I want to design my table structure. So here my first column is invoice number. For invoice number, I use INV number, and it is you can keep it as auto number. Then invoice number is a description. Then my second column is invoice date. Therefore INV date. Then the data type is date. Invoice date is the description. Then the third column is supplier name. Data type is text, and supplier name is the description. Then the other column is supplier address, data type is memo because address is lengthy one, maybe a lengthy one. Then address is a description, supply address. Then supplier contact is the other column, and the data type is there, the text. Contact number. Then supplier email. Data type is text. Supplier email. So these columns comes to invoice main table. Then finally supplier account number. Supplier account number is the final column of my invoice main table. Supply account number. Yes, now I created my first main table of my invoice database, sample invoice database. So I want to save my table. Press Ctrl S or press data sheet view. Yes, this is my invoice main table. Now first one table is okay. Then the second table is, go to create and select table and press Ctrl S to save your table. So the second table is invoice sub table. So my short name is inv sub. Press OK. For invoice sub table, under the design view, so what are the columns? One of the columns I'm going to add. So here also for invoice sub also there is a column for invoice number, inv number. Data type is just a number, right? Then the next column of my invoice sub table is product ID. First column is of my invoice sub table. First column is invoice number and the second column is product ID, and its data type is text, or you can keep it as a number, doesn't matter. Then the third column is product name, and fourth column is unit price. Then its data type is currency, product name and unit price. So these are the invoice sub table columns. Then I want to add a column for quantity. So here QTY for quantity, and its data type is number because it is quantity number. Then the final column is sub value. This is for line item values. It means price multiplied by quantity. Just say sub val. Yeah. Then the data type is currency. Yes. So these are the columns of my invoice sub table. So I can add descriptions like this: invoice number, product ID, then product name, then unit price, quantity, we can say purchased quantity, or then this is sub value, line item value. It means unit price multiplied by quantity. Sub value equals to unit price multiplied by quantity, like that. So these are the columns I want to add for my invoice tab table. Then I want to remove this primary key because I want to create a one-to-many relationship with invoice main table and invoice sub table. Therefore, I have to remove primary key from the invoice table invoice number column. Yes. Now two tables are okay. Now there are two tables to design. There are two more tables to design. There are two tables to design. Now this is my invoice sub table. Then again create a new table and save the name as TBL product. TBL product. Press OK and go to design view. So here under the TBL product ID is the primary key. Data type is number, and we can say a product name. Then unit price. Currency is the data type. So my TBL product table contains three columns. They are product ID, product name, and unit price. Now save the table. So it is like that. And the fourth table is TBL supplier. This table is used to enter the supplier details. So we can take the supplier name and address by using this table to your invoice template. Go to create and click on the table, then save the table first. Here TBL supplier is the table name. So here we can add supplier ID, supplier identification number, then supplier name, then supplier address, so supplier address data type is memo, then supplier contact, then supplier email, then supplier account number. Right. So these columns we need to create supplier table. So here SID means supplier ID, and it is a primary key. Then supplier name, then supplier address, supplier contact, supplier email, supplier account number. Now these are the columns I want to use for my supplier table. Then click on this icon. Now table is saved. So this is the supplier table. So now I created all the four tables which are necessary to create sample invoice template. So for supplier table I can enter some Yes, I entered sample data to my supplier table. I entered sample data to my supplier table, then close the supplier table and open the TBL product. So here I am going to add sample data for my TBL product. Just assume that this business sale garment items, then the product ID for shirt is 100 and the unit price is 1500, and the 200 is the product code for frocks, and this 2500 unit price, and the 300 for kaftan and its product price is 1750, and just say skirts, product unit price is 1000. Yes, I filled TBL product table with sample data. So now I added sample data to TBL supply or supplier table and TBL product and the product table, because these sample informations are useful to test our database. So therefore, at the very first beginning, I entered sample data to my TBL product and TBL supplier. Now already I have created 4 tables: invoice main, invoice sub, TBL product, TBL supplier. So invoice main table, invoice sub table, TBL product table and the TBL supplier table. So these are the 4 tables I'm going to use to create my simple invoice template. Then the next step is to create relationship. To create relationship among tables, what should I do? You have to click on the database tools tab. So once you click on the database tools tab, you can see a button called relationships. So you have to click on it. So once you have click on the relationship button, then you can drag the desired tables to this window. Now I want to create a relationship in between TBL main and TBL sub. So my relationship type is one-to-many. So I have assigned primary key for my invoice main table invoice number, and I have not placed primary key for my sub table. Then to create a relationship, one-to-many relationship, what shall I do? I should drag invoice number from invoice main table to the invoice sub table invoice number. So like this. So once you have dragged like that, then you have a pop-up, then you have a dialog box like this. So in that dialog box, you can edit your relationship. So here there's a checkbox called enforce referential integrity. So we have to check this referential integrity checkbox, and here the relation type is displayed. So my relation type is one-to-many. Now it is correct. Now create the relationship among these 2 tables. You have to click create. So once you have successfully create relationship among these 2 tables, you can see a link like this. So this is a one-to-many relationship. Relation type is one-to-many, and here the special thing is that you can't create a one-to-many relationship if you assign primary key for invoice number in invoice sub table. There you can't primary key. So if you add a primary key, then you can't create one-to-many relationship. So if you want to create a one-to-many relationship here, you should not assign primary key for your invoice subtable invoice number. Now if you want to edit your relationship, what you should do, you should right click on this line and click edit relationship. So once you have click on the edit, you can see same window like that. So then there you can edit your relationship according to your need. On the other hand, if you want to remove the relationship, what you should do is once you have right click on this line, then you have a menu like this. Then there you can see option called delete. So if you press the delete, then it will ask, you will be asked, are you sure you want to permanently delete the selected relationship from your video? If you press yes, then permanently your relationship will delete. Yes. Yes, now I have created one-to-many relationship among invoice main table and invoice subtable. So that is the second step. Now the relationship part is okay. On the other hand, I want to tell one thing. To create a relationship with these two tables, the data type of the two tables link columns should be equal. For example, here I am here for invoice number. Under the invoice main table, I have given number. Data type is number. My invoice main table, invoice number column, data type is number, and also invoice subtable, you can see a column called invoice number. So they are the data type also number. So the data type of two tables must be equal to create a relationship like this. So it is something you should remember when you are creating or when you create relationships among tables. Now the relationship part is okay, and just save your relationship and close. Now click on the invoice main table. So once you enter the data to your invoice main table and subtable, then the plus mark will appear here. Then you can access your invoice subtable. So that kind of plus mark comes because of that one-to-many relationship. So I'll see you later. Now relationship is created successfully, and the four designs and the four tables have created correctly. Now what is the next step? So next step is to create a form based on these tables. Next step is to create the forms based on this table. To create form, so here I am going to take a blank form. I am going to add a blank form. Then click on the create ribbon. Then click on the create tab and select blank form. Then press Ctrl S. Here you can save your form. So here my name for my form is FRA main. Yes, now I created my form. Then here to design my form, added form, just right click on the empty space and then select the design view. So once you have clicked the design view, you have your form opens in design view. So here then again right click and select form header footer. Then you can see your form. Once you click on the header footer by right clicking, you can select form header and footer. So once you click form header and footer, form header, here is the form footer, and this is the detail section. Right. Now here I want to add a label like this. Invoice template. Invoice template. Then you can increase the font size here and font color and alignments. You can bold the label. Yes, if you want you can change the color here. In form header section, color can be changed by right clicking and select this option, fill/back color. So there I would like to keep my back color in just say yes, this color. You can change your color like that. You can change the form header color according to your desire, according to your wish. Yes. Now FRA main, or the main form is going to be designed. Now the main form is, we are going to design the main form of our invoice template database. Then again click this place. Yeah. So once you click on this place and right click, then select properties. Once you select properties, then form property box, form property sheet appear from your right hand side. Then there under the property sheet there's a tab called data. So under this data tab, okay, under this data tab you can select the table which is used to which is relevant to FRA main. So FRA main is linked with invoice main table. Yes. Now I add the controls, or now I selected the invoice main table as record source of my FRA main form. Yes. Now it is okay. Now you can see we have successfully added record source for my main form. Then under the design view, then go to design view, then you can add labels and text boxes according to your needs. So here I am going to add this one, frame, cancel. Yes. Then you can resize your form according to your design. So what are the text boxes I should use for my FRA main? So click on this text boxes, click on this text box and keep it on the detail section of your main form. Right. Now this text box, just say font size is 13 and the font color is black. So this text box is to view invoice number. invoice number. Invoice number, yes. Then here you can rename your text box name here, so it is very easy if you rename your text box. Then later when you use VBA part, if you want to use VBA part, then if you name your text boxes properly, then it is very easy. Then select this text box, and so under the other tab of your property sheet, then I'm going to rename this text box as txt inv number, invoice text box number, txt inv number. So that's the name of my text box. So this text box will display the invoice number. So it is to show the invoice number of your invoice main table. So and also you can add invoice number by using this text box. Then copy and paste the same text box. Then this is for invoice date, just say date. Then again go to the other tab. So my name of this text box is txt date, and the control, to change the control source, click on the data tab and select invoice date. Yes, don't forget to save within the process. Now other text box, the next text box is for I think is for supplier name. Just say for supplier name, here I can add what we call combo box. For supplier name I can add as combo box, because by a combo box I can select supplier name, add a combo box for supplier name. Then under the, so once you add the combo box, then you have a menu like this. When you have a dialog box like this, please select first one. I want the combo box to get the values from another table or query. Then click next, select the TBL supplier. Then you have to select supplier ID and supplier name, or you can add supplier name or both. So here I would like to add supplier ID and supplier name. Yes, click next, hide the key column, so unchecks your checkbox. Then next, when you select a row in the combo box, you can store a value from that row in your database, or you can use the value later to perform an action. Choose a field that uniquely identifies the row which column in the combo box contains the value you want to store or use in your database. So I want to store supplier name. Therefore, click next, then next, then click finish. Then place your combo box, supplier name combo box in a proper place. This is supplier name. supplier name. Just something like that. So the control source is S name, supplier name. And you can rename your combo box name as CBO name. CBO S name. CBO S name means CBO supply name. Right. Then I think I have added another text boxes for other table columns. And this one is for supply address. Just say txt addre address. Then their control source is, select the control source like that, S address. We can adjust the table later. Then this is for supplier contact. Supplier contact. So contact. And the next text box is for supplier email. I say the control source, then rename the label to email. Right, the final one is for supply account number. Now under the data tab, select the supplier as account number, then rename the table as account number. Right. Then you have to rename your text boxes txt acc and account number. Then txt email, then txt contact, yes. Now the invoice main, then the invoice main form interface is like this. You can adjust the interface according to your needs. So this can be done by selecting layout view. So layout view, you can change the form layout. Right. Yes. Now click the form view. Now this is how my main form like this, looks like. Okay. So before, now I design main form for my invoice template. Then the next thing, save this one and close the invoice, close the main form. Then I want to create a subform for my sub table. Then go to create tab, again select blank form, then Ctrl S to save the form, FRM sub, right click and press design view. Then here also I want to add a form header, right click and select form header. Then this is my subform, and this form is act as a child form. So this form is act as a subform or subreform. Then here also I want to set the control source. So click here, this corner square, and right click and select properties. So my subform control source property is like this. Select the data tab and go to record source, then click on this drop down arrow and select inv sub or in sub table. Yes, then again go to design view. Now I am going to add text boxes for my subform here. So the first one, I think first one is product ID. For product ID, I am going to use combo box. So once you add the combo box on the detail section, then you have then you can see combo box wizard. There select TBL product and click next, then select product ID and product name. Yes, these are the two columns I need for my combo box. Then next, yes, next, then finish. Then you have to adjust your combo box according to needs. Then for this combo box also I want to set the control source. So select the data tab and select a combo box, added combo box, and its control source is product ID. And I want to change the font color and font size. Right. Then I need additional 3 column, three text boxes. I need additional 3 text boxes. So here you can change the combo box name CBO PID, right? Product ID, right? Then go to design tab and select text box. There, this text box is display txt item name, txt name, item, txt product name, p name, right? then go click on the data tab and select the product name. Font size is 12 and font color is black. Now product ID and product name are okay. Now copy and paste product name, name text box and change it to unit price, and then click the other tab and rename the text box name txt price. Right. Then you can place this text box here. Then resize your text box according to the requirement. Then copy this text box and paste. This is for quantity txt qty. So it is the name of my quantity text box, and click data and change the control source to quantity. Right. Then the final one is for sub value. Control source is subval. Then the text box name is just a txt subval, and place your text box in the correct position. Just now we created most of the subform. Then drag this like that. Then here you have to do then here what you should do is you have to go to the all, select the subform and click on the all tab. So under the all tab you can see under the subform all tab, all property sheet, that's the tab called all. So there you can see default view. So by default single form design is selected. So here you have to select continuous form. You have to select continuous form. Yes, we select the continuous form, then press Ctrl S, save your subform. So this is the subform we have created. Yes. Now open your FRM main table and right click, select design view. Now then we are going to add our subform here. We are going to add our subform here. So you can do this by clicking this one. You see subform report icon. So once you click on the subform icon from design view, you can see a subform wizard. You can see subform wizard. It automatically pop-ups. So under the subform wizard, use existing table or query, use an existing form. So here use existing form as a subform. Okay. Now you have to select, you have to choose use an existing form option. So by default FRM sub is selected, then click next, then next, then finish. Now we have added the created subform to our main form. Okay, now I think it is clear to you. Now go to the form view. Here you can see our subform. So you can modify your invoice table subform part. Here you can add frame for your subform. Yes, your subform is like this. Then you can do more adjustments by right clicking and selecting a layout view. You can do other adjustments where necessary, like this. And you can change the subform position like this. So to do this, you have to select layout view, then Ctrl S, then close main form, then again go to subform, select the subform and right click and select design view. So here you can add labels. So here you can see this one is for product ID. Product ID. And this one is for product name. And this label is for unit price. And this one is for quantity. And this is for value. Then select all text boxes and you can change the color and font size. Awame, Haria, good night. Ma, tename. Oh, the big. Haria, Ma, tename. Good night. Then Ctrl S is for save your database, and how to save your database by making these adjustments. Then select close. Then again go to FRA main, see what has happened. Now your labels, the edit labels is shown like that. Now we have created main form and subform, and we added subform to our main form. We added subform to main form, so now it is look like this. You see, once we select record, automatically it moves to new line. This is happened because we select continuous form option under the default view, so that is why it looks like this. Okay. To reduce the gap, you can reduce the gap here. Reduce the gap by right click and go to design to select the from FRM sub and right click and select the design view. Then here adjust this one, reduce the space and save, then close. Then again go to the FRM main, then select record. Yeah, now the gap is minimized, no gap is there. Now the basic structure or the basic design of our invoice template is almost done. Now the form and table parts and the relationship part are okay. Now we have a small coding part for our combo boxes, and we have to small VBA coding part. Then we can create invoice report after completing these minor adjustments. Then we can create invoice report after that. Okay, I added new combo box to my invoice template. Here I added a new combo box. It is for customer ID and actually it is unbound text box. So when I select this customer ID, what happens, it fills these text boxes. So actually it's a little bit easy, and that is why I created new combo box, unbound combo box. So let's see what happens when I select customer ID from this unbound combo box. Go to form view. Now here I am going to select number 1, Saman Perera's customer ID is number 1. So once I click on this or select this one, what happens, it fills these lines. So these details are taken from, especially customer name and the address and contact details are taken from customer table. Right, now invoice number is auto generated and you can add the date like this. So this is how it goes. Then to do this I used lookup function. So right click on the customer ID, right click on this combo box and go to build event. So I added these function, VBA code to accomplish this task. So here this is the combo box. After update event I added VBA coding, and you can see this is the form text box, and this is the supplier tables, supplier name column, and this is the table, supplier table, and this is the ID, and this is the form combo box. So this is how I use the lookup function to generate related records based on the customer ID. Yes, then I use same method to get the product details also. This is the FRM sub invoice, this is sub form, and I use lookup function to get the product details also. It is like this. There I use CBO product ID after update event, then added these codes. It is quite similar to first function I discussed. Then then just assume someone Pera, right, is going to buy a shirt, and the quantity is 2 and the row value is 3000, and also is going to buy kaftan, quantity is to say 1. Yes, then the total value is 4000. So this is how my invoice templates fills based on the relevant records. Then once you fill this once you fill the template like this, then you have to press the add button. So once you press the add button, these records go to the relevant tables. Then my next aim was to create report for this invoice template. So before creating report, I had to create invoice query. So my query name is QRY invoice. So I am going to show you how my query looks like. So just click on this query invoice and select design view. So this is my query, and I took details from main table and subtable. So then there are some columns based on the main table and some columns are based on the subtable. Special product details are relates to subtable. So this is how my query looks like. Yes. So once I create my query, my next aim was to create report. Then this is my report. Right click and design view. So this is my report, and this is the report header, and it includes company details, company contact details, and the contact numbers. And this is the page header. So the page header contains the main table details, and this is the detail section of report. So the detail section includes the sub product details. I mean, this is relates with the subtable. So again, I use some function at the inside the report footer. So then I get the summation of sub value column like this. So this is the function. Then I designed my table like this. So then I designed my report like this. So it includes all the necessary details based on the relevant tables. Then I selected query invoice as record source for my report. So this is the QRY invoice query, and this is the record source. Yes, now the report designing part and the query designing part is okay. So what I want to do next I want to generate report based on the combo box value. So once I select the invoice number, it should load or it should preview my relevant report automatically. So to do this, I added unbound combo box, and I linked unbound combo box with invoice table, invoice column. I selected the unbound combo box with invoice main table and its invoice column. So then I added small coding for CBO report after update event. So this is the coding I used to generate report based on the combo box value. So this is the report name, and this is the preview mode of my report. So this is the VBA function I used to open the report automatically, and it is included under the CBO report after update event. Right. Then again, to get that specific records from the what we call this combo box, I had to include small criteria to my QRY invoice. So I'll show that. Just right click on the QRY invoice and go to design view. So this is the code I included under the criteria section of the invoice column. So this function is like this. So here I gave the CBO report combo box name, and this is the link to combo box forms FRM invoice. Then FRM invoice includes CBO report. So this is the path, this is the criteria I use to generate report automatically. Just close the query. So I'll show you how it works. Now we have 3 invoices already entered. We have already entered 3 invoices, 13, 14 and 15. So just I want to generate invoice number 15. So if I want to generate invoice number 15, what should I do? I just want to select the number like this. So once I select the number, it automatically loads the relevant invoice, just like this. So it includes all the necessary details, and correct invoice is open under the report preview. So just say I want to open number 13 invoice. So here you have to select the number 13 from the drop down menu or from the combo box. Once you select the number 13 invoice number, the 13 invoice, so it opens the relevant invoice. This is the invoice number and invoice date. These are the company contact details, and this is supplier details, and these are the product details purchased by this customer. Again, I'm going to open 14, invoice number 14. So once you select the invoice number 14, it opens invoice number 14 like this. So it opens in a preview mode. So this is how I design my invoice template using Microsoft Access. Actually, this is very simple invoice. I think you may helpful this video, and you may be able to get some knowledge, additional knowledge, and I think you will be able to develop advanced invoice template by studying this video. Then don't forget to subscribe Rover YouTube channel. For more videos, please stay with us. So if you need any clarification regarding this process, invoice creating invoice template process, if you have any question, please put a comment under the comment section. So I will reply as soon as possible, and also I will include this sample template. I will put download link to get the sample access file. So I think it is helpful to you. Then again, don't forget to subscribe my channel, Rover YouTube channel. Then let's meet with another video. Goodbye.